Hello, legends. Do you have that sort of sinking feeling that you missed out on your 20s, that you've missed your shot, that it might be too late for you? I know exactly how this feels. When I was 28, I really felt like it was a little bit too late for me, like I'd missed that boat, like I was never going to be able to build the relationships or the sex life or any of that stuff that I wanted. I thought I was old. I thought I was too old, too late, bad luck, you missed out. And I know a lot of you feel the same way. I'm going to do a series of videos where I sort of be there for you and tackle some of your insecurities or your limiting beliefs. This will be the first one in that series about feeling like you're a little bit too old or like you missed out on your 20s. Like everybody else had this really cool 20s and you're just there either in your 30s or maybe you're in your late 20s or even older than that. And you feel like you've just led this normal, maybe average or below average life. And you think everybody else out there has done cool stuff and, they've had the coolest life ever and you've just been lame and you've missed out. And I think this is a very normal feeling, especially in the age of social media, especially in the age of Instagram and TikTok and all of that. You scroll through Instagram and you see 10,000 people doing cool things, guys with girls or girls that are very hot and seem famous and lots of likes. And maybe they're doing cool stuff, like genuinely cool stuff. And then you play the comparison game. And my God, is that not torture? And maybe you sit there and you feel like I've wasted my youth. I'm never going to get those years back. Maybe you didn't have the best high school or college experience. And then you went into your 20s feeling kind of a little bit low, a bit of a loner, a bit of a loser. I definitely can relate to that. And then time kind of just passed you by. I really, really, really know that feeling. Most of my coaching clients, to be honest with you guys, feel like that. That's most of the people who come to coaching. And you guys know what I'm going to say. If they can all change their life, you sure as hell can too. But it doesn't always feel like that, does it? It feels like you're the special exception, or you're the exception who has this shitty life and nothing to be happy about, nothing to appreciate. Maybe you have a little bit of money, or maybe you've got a few friends, or maybe you got some video games or something, but you feel like you're missing out on the things you actually care about. Maybe that's sex, dating, relationships, whatever it might be. And like I said, it's very easy to play that comparison game and feel like you're not good enough. Something that can help to realize is that to some extent, everybody misses out. Like, especially in your 20s, nobody has a perfect life. And so if you're looking at other people who are going out there and partying every day and just crushing it, maybe they got a lot of women in their life or whatever, do they have an amazing career or a business? Usually not, because they're busy focusing on having sex and all of that sort of stuff. Or if you pick someone who has built an amazing, financial situation, maybe they have a career, maybe they started their own business, whatever it might be, maybe they're not very good with women. And a lot of you guys are in that boat. A lot of my coaching clients come to me. You guys have a decent amount of money because you've focused on your career. Maybe you work in tech. Maybe you work as a software engineer. My God, I have so many of you guys who work in tech who come to the coaching. But you feel like you've missed out in terms of women or social life or dating or just your own confidence and ability to put yourself out there. And so I have this saying, or I heard this saying somewhere, when one door closes, another one opens. You can say that in reverse and say, if you're going to open one door, you're not going through another door. What I mean by that is if you go down the pathway of like, I'm going to focus on my career, that often, not always, but often comes at the expense of social and dating. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means you walked through a particular door and you didn't walk through a different one. You chose a particular path in life. And a lot of you guys feel like there is something wrong with you because you're not good with women, or you're not good at socializing, or you're not very confident, or you're not funny, or you don't know how to flirt, you don't know how to text, whatever it might be. You think there's something like fundamentally wrong with you, but no, you just went down a different pathway. I love to use this analogy of the marathon. Imagine if I was to say to you guys, I have never run a marathon before, which is true, I haven't. Therefore, I must be weak, I must be lazy, there must be something wrong with me, and I must be incapable. You guys would say like, well, Andy, have you ever entered a marathon? No, I've never even attempted a marathon, but there must be something wrong with me, right? I've gone for walks and I've gone for a jog here and there. So that was me attempting a marathon. I'm going to call that me trying. That was me trying, but I've never finished a marathon. What's wrong with me? You'd be like, Andy, just pour your heart and soul into doing a marathon if it's that important to you. The same in dating. A lot of you just haven't really focused. You might think that you have, you might think you've tried a little bit, and you have, you've put in effort, you've tried, but you haven't done the things that are required of you to have the dating and the sex life and the relationships that you want. Like, you just haven't focused on it because you were busy doing other things. And just like with the marathon example, I'm not a loser because I haven't done a marathon any more than like you are not a loser because you haven't had a sex or a dating life. I know it's very easy to wrap up our self-esteem in those things and say, well, I'm single, therefore there must be something wrong with me. No, you just haven't really, really, really focused on it and dedicated yourself to it. And that's all that ever happens when people come to me for coaching. They literally just jump in the group and I'm like, okay, let's start focusing on your dating life. 2 or 3 weeks later, they're getting results. They're either having sex or they're going on dates or they're in a relationship or something. Like, it really doesn't take that long for most of you. Every now and then there'll be a guy that takes a little bit longer, but even then, not as long as he thinks. And you guys are just not fully focusing on dating, sex, relationships. Like, there's always more that you can do. There's always more all in that you can go. And you're just not doing that. And again, that's not a criticism. You're just not focusing on it because you were focused on other things. In other words, what I'm saying to you here is that life is kind of like a video game that's like a sandbox or an open world. It's not a linear path. You can go down any path you want. You can explore anything. You could focus on your career. You could focus on dating. You could focus on anything else. And this story that you tell yourself of how you missed out is exactly that. It is just a story. And just like any story, you can rewrite it at any point. And this is obviously what we focus on a lot in this community, reframing things, telling a story that actually serves you. And so what I say is, tell a story of, I am just at the beginning of my dating life. I am in the beginning stages, and just like anyone else who's in the beginning, I might not be very good at it. I might not be confident. I might have no clue what I'm doing, but that's okay. I can just improve over time. I can take a little baby step every day, and I can just keep showing up, keep trying, keep moving forward, and keep evolving. I am at the beginning of my journey. I have not failed. You can also kind of tell a story that you starting a bit late, again, maybe you're in your late 20s, maybe you're in your 30s or even your 40s. You can tell a story that you starting late could be a good thing, that it could be an advantage because you are going to be much more conscious about what you're doing. Lots of people who hook up a ton in their 20s do it very unconsciously. They do it while drunk. They do it while on drugs. They do it with just random people who might not be very nice to them. They don't necessarily screen for or vet for people who are nice, who will stick around, women that will treat them kindly, and women do the same thing. Lots of women in their 20s have a bunch of sex with what they call fuckboys. Guys who don't really stick around, who will lie to them, who will just say anything they need to say to sleep with them and then kind of ditch them. And women hate that. And men obviously don't like that either. No one likes feeling used. And so you in your late 20s or your 30s or your 40s are going to be much more conscious. You are watching this channel, you are watching, or you are in this community. You probably care about leaving women better than you found them. You probably care about adding to their lives. You probably care about your own self-esteem and your own self-love. You probably don't just want to have a whole bunch of sex if it doesn't add to your life and to her life, or multiple women's lives if you want to go down that path. You are going to do this much more honestly. You guys know I don't shut the fuck up about honesty. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but if you're watching the video, on my arm, I literally have a tattoo that says speak truth. I literally have speak truth tattooed on my fucking body. You guys care a lot about honesty. You care a lot about integrity. You care a lot about compassion, kindness, and just being a decent person, whatever the term decent person means to you. A lot of people who had a lot of sex or a lot of partying or led that supposedly cool lifestyle in their 20s, they didn't really care about integrity or honesty or whether or not what they were doing was good for them and good for other people. I have met a lot of people who had a lot of sex in their 20s and regret it. They feel guilty about it. They feel like they just had this crazy, wild, insane lifestyle, had a bunch of sex, got drunk a bunch, did a lot of drugs, and it wasn't really adding to their lives. One of my friends, Olivia, has come on this channel and literally talked about that, about how she hooked up a lot, she partied a lot, she went down that lifestyle when she was younger, And then when she got older, she was like, none of that was ever fulfilling. And she even knew that at the time. But often people are stuck in a cycle, aren't they? Where the only thing that makes them feel better is some validation or some sex or some alcohol or some drugs or porn or video games or any of these things. And they know that these things are not really adding to their life. They know that these things are not making them a healthier, happier, more well-rounded, more loving person. But they're in a trap. And you guys, if you're in your late 20s or 30s, like I said, you've skipped that. You can almost say, holy shit, I have been spared. A lot of the time you look at other people, especially if you're going to look on Instagram and compare yourself to other people, you are just seeing their highlight reels. You are seeing the carefully manufactured, carefully chosen, carefully curated videos and pictures and reels and all of that shit that they are trying to show you to present an image. What you see on Instagram is not real. And when you look at other people who are having a lot of sex, you know nothing about how happy or fulfilled they might be. They might be some of the most lonely people on the planet, even with tons of women in their life. There's a saying that I love, be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. And a lot of people wish for money, fame, sex, power, all of that. And then when they get it, they go, why is this so lonely? It is not having a lot of sex that will make you feel fulfilled. In fact, it can go the exact opposite. It is appreciating the sex that you have. It is the gratitude for it that will make you feel wholly fulfilled. It is connecting with other human beings on a physical level, on an intimate level, on an emotional level, on an intellectual level, and being honest and upfront and having integrity with those people. That is what makes you feel fulfilled, satisfied, and deeply wholly happy. Same with money. It's not just having a shitload of money that makes you happy. If that was the case, don't you think every billionaire and millionaire would be happy and fulfilled and peaceful? Are they? Some of them are, but most of them, fuck no. They're some of the most unhappy people. They all just, or a lot of them just need more, 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 more. They tell themselves, I need more money, more fame, more power, more this, more that. And most celebrities that you see talking about gratitude and wow, I'm just in such a beautiful position and I want to share so much love with the world and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to just be this famous. Like I want to do good with this fame. Some people do that. There are plenty of people that do, but most of them are not talking like that, are they, guys? Most celebrities do not present something to you that makes you think, holy fuck, that seems like a very happy, grateful, deeply peaceful, joyful human being. Again, some of them are. There are plenty like that. But maybe most of them are not fully, wholly fulfilled. And they don't talk like that. And if you ask them, they would say, yeah, I got another project I got to work on. I'm working on this next goal. I have this next thing. They're not talking about happiness and joy and being peaceful. And so you are playing this comparison game by saying other people must be, like you're making an assumption, other people must be happy because they have more than me, more sex, more money, more fame, whatever it might be, more relationships. No, not necessarily. Some of them will be if they consciously or they choose to live consciously. If they choose to be grateful and happy and appreciate what they have, then yes, they might be more happy than you. And the good news there is you can just do what they've done. Use them as an example, use them as inspiration. That's the point of my community. That's the point of my channel, right? I try and inspire you guys and say, if I can do this, you can too. And then I try and help you do that. But while we do that, while we achieve our goals, while we go out there and have lots of sex or money or fame or whatever it is that we want, let's be conscious about it. Let's be grateful for every step. Let's not sit there and bitch and moan about rejection and it's not fair and why did this person say no to me and this journey's hard and it sucks. No, let's appreciate the fact that we even get to work on this stuff. Let's appreciate the fact that we get to have sex if we just apply ourselves and do some self-improvement and just go out there and talk to lots of girls. Let's appreciate that. Every single woman that comes to our bed or even just goes on a date with us, let's say out loud to her or even just hold it in your mind or your heart, I am grateful for you. Thank you for being here. This is wonderful. I'm so excited to have this date with you. I'm so excited to have sex with you. I really appreciate you. Say that to all your friends. Say that to your boss instead of moaning that you hate your job. Why not appreciate the fact that someone is paying your fucking bills? And so it is the gratitude, the appreciation, and the acceptance to some extent of the journey that we are on that will bring you happiness and peace. And again, lots of the people who succeeded in their 20s, who had a lot of sex or maybe went further than you or seemingly further than you, they don't get to learn some of the lessons that you guys are learning. Like, think how much you're going to learn about stoicism, about perseverance, about growth, about opening up about your problems and your fears and your doubts. How much are you guys gonna overcome your insecurities and limiting beliefs as part of this journey? You are forging yourself into a man that is worthy of respect. You are forging yourself into an absolute warrior. A lot of people who crushed it in their 20s, they didn't get that experience because they just were born handsome or they were born into a rich family or whatever it might be. They don't get to go on the self-improvement journey that you get to go on. And guys, I know it can be tough. I know it can be hard. I know the journey can seem arduous. I know it can seem painful. It doesn't have to. And a big part of this channel is helping you guys find ways to make this fun and sustainable and enjoyable. But I get that sometimes as a human being, we just have breakdowns and we're like, fuck this. Why is this so hard? I'm so sick of this shit. I don't want to be grateful. Fuck you, Andy, for telling me to be grateful. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of rejection. Stop telling me rejection is just a mindset, Andy. Fuck you. My feelings are hurting right now. I hate this. I get that. I have had those feelings and thoughts a trillion times. I have felt like that more times than you guys have even tried. I have felt the sting of what I call rejection, or what I called at the time rejection, more times than you guys have even fucking tried. I have heard the word no more times than you guys have even attempted to ask for what you want. I know how it feels, guys. For fuck's sakes, I know how it feels. I know it can be painful. I get that. But I promise you this shit is worth it. I promise you. If it wasn't worth it, I would just tell you now. I'd be like, no, guys, fuck this. Just go pay for an escort and then make lots of money and spend your money on video games. And there's plenty of people on the internet that say that. But do they seem happy when they say that? Are they saying that from a place of peace? Are they like, hey guys, I figured out that if you just pay an escort and like play some video games, like life's beautiful, guys. I'm so grateful. Like, no, that's not how they fucking talk, is it? They're like, women fucking suck and like society sucks, and they're not happy. They don't even try to pretend that they're happy because they're not. But I promise you, if you just dedicate yourself to this journey, if you show up every day and just take one baby step towards the life that you want to live, whether that's dating, a relationship, lots of sex, money, happiness, mental health, love, activities, sports, connection with others, friendships, whatever it is that you might want. Maybe you want all of those things. Maybe you just want some of those things. I promise you, if you work on those things and be grateful for every step of the journey, and even gratitude is something that you can just improve over time with practice. You don't have to be amazing at gratitude. But I promise you, if you guys dedicate yourself, this journey is absolutely, absolutely, absolutely worth it. I think something else that's worth talking about is a lot of you guys who are coming to me or coming to this community or coming to my coaching or whatever it is, in your 20s or your 30s or maybe even your 40s, and I'm about to do a call today with a guy in his 50s. If you guys are coming and you feel like it's a little bit late, understand that insecurity or that pain or that feeling of like, I've missed out and holy shit, I have to rush, is a beautiful motivator. Yes, I would encourage you to be motivated more by excitement and joy and playing to win and love, like love of the game and all of that. But if you are full of insecurity, doubt, limiting beliefs, and all of that, and you have this like pain inside of you, this pain of feeling like you missed out, that can be an incredible motivator. I said this before, but so many of my coaching clients who feel like they missed out on their 20s or even missed out on their 30s, they come to me and in like 3 weeks, they do more than they were able to do in the last like 5 years. I mentioned this in a video, like I think it was yesterday, either yesterday or the day before. I released a video and I talked about one of my coaching clients who had been suffering for something or suffering through something, struggling to get like second dates and have women stick around. He'd been suffering with that for like 3 or 4 years. And in 2 or 3, I think it was like 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, he absolutely is now at a point where he's had 2 women that want to stick around and keep seeing him. And all of that changed seemingly overnight. He was literally struggling with this for years. I have done videos on this channel where I talk about like Jeff, one of the guys I had as a coaching client a couple of years ago. He hadn't had sex in 9 years and he had sex in like his 5th week, I think, of coaching. I've obviously worked with a lot of guys who are virgins in their 30s or late 20s or even 40s, and they have sex within like I don't know, 3 weeks sometimes. Sometimes if they've really got a lot of stuff to work on, it might take them 6 weeks max. Sometimes it happens within the first week and they're like, holy shit, how did I just lose my virginity in 1 week? And it's like, first of all, because you had us helping you. But second of all, because you actually really went all in. And that isn't to say that all of you aren't trying. You are. You absolutely are. But there's a difference between trying and going all in. Why do you guys think I'm so fucking passionate about the coaching? Because when you come to the coaching, you absolutely go all in. You've paid a decent amount or a large amount of money, a crazy amount of money for some of you. You've paid a large amount of money. You're going to take that fucking seriously. And you're around a bunch of other people that are absolutely crushing it. And you have me as your cheerleader literally every single day saying, come on, man, we believe in you. Like, you got this, man. Here's how you solve this problem. Hey, this isn't working for you. Try this thing. Hey, this thing here is causing you pain. Here's how you can relieve that pain. You literally go all in. And like I said, there is a big difference between trying and like really trying. And again, there's nothing wrong with all of you. There literally is nothing wrong with you. You just haven't really tried and gone all in. On that note, by the way, I'll do a little coaching pitch right now. My coaching program is currently 50% off for the next probably 30 days, or I think it's 29 days now. So if you've been wanting coaching, if you've been wanting to go all in, now is the perfect time. I will leave a link down below in the description. The listed price when you click on that link, I think the listed price is $11,000, but it's currently $5,500, so half price. So just mention this deal when you apply. We have payment plans. I'm happy to jump on a free call with you and we will talk through any limiting beliefs you have. We will see if the program is right for you. I am not going to push you. I am not going to like do any sales bullshit on you. I will literally just say, do you want the coaching program? Do you want this? And if you're nervous to sign up or you're hesitant, I'm not going to push you. I'm just going to say, do you want it? Yes or no? So I will leave a link down below to that. But we change lives, guys. Like, that is the point of the coaching program. We don't fuck around. You will come in there and you will literally achieve in like a month more than you have achieved in the last like 3 to 5 years. A lot of you are sitting there sort of just delaying your happiness and going, I'll do this on my own and maybe it'll work out for me one day. Just pay to win, guys. Like, you're literally saving yourself so many years. And think about how much money you've wasted on stuff that doesn't really bring you any joy. You know, alcohol, food, porn, video games, fucking technology and shit that isn't really doing anything for you. Just pay some money and solve the fucking problem. So I'll leave a link down below to that. Something else that can help to think about is you, if you're in your late 20s or 30s, you are such a more well-rounded man, especially when it comes to dating. One of my coaching clients right now, he's in his late 30s and he's a single father, so he's got kids, so he's pretty emotionally mature. He would probably laugh when I say that because he'd be like, no, man, I'm still working on my emotional maturity. And it's like, dude, if you are watching this right now, fuck off. You are incredibly emotionally mature. You literally raised 2 children by yourself. Holy shit. Your job, which I won't say, your job is just absolutely amazing. I love the job that you work. His job is literally going out there and helping people like literally every day. Like he's got one of those type of jobs. And he just went on a date with a 22-year-old. So much younger, very hot, very sexy. And she said to him like 4 or 5 times, this is the best date that I've ever been on. You're so nice to me. You're so kind. I feel like you actually listen to me. I feel like you give a shit about me. I feel like you want me to be happy. I feel like they haven't had sex yet. You know, they're probably going to have sex on the next date. But man, the sex that they have is just going to be so much more, even if he isn't super experienced, which he has a bit of experience, but he's not super experienced. But think how much more heart and emotional understanding and maturity he will bring to the bedroom. And a lot of you are in that exact same boat. You don't give yourself credit for that. Guys who are in their 20s tend not to be emotionally mature, especially like younger 20s. That seems like such an obvious statement. And so turn it around and say the opposite. You guys who are in your late 20s or 30s, you are probably very emotionally mature. You're probably more grounded. Most of you have a decent job. A lot of you guys listening are freaking nerds and you work in tech and you have tons of money and you're doing pretty well for yourself. Think about all of that. That is what you are offering a woman. You guys have so much to offer women, but you're not giving yourself credit for it. And you're just saying, I'm not good enough. It's too late. I'm in my late 20s or 30s or 40s. What woman would want me, especially not a younger woman? Okay, here's what you do. Gather some fucking evidence. This is an exercise that I give every single one of my coaching clients. What I want you to do is write down 50 reasons why a woman might want to date you. You could also phrase that as 50 reasons why you are likable. 50 things about you that are likable. You're basically writing down your qualities, what it is that you have to offer. Maybe you're emotionally mature. Maybe you're intelligent. Most of you are, if you're listening to this channel. Like, you guys tend to be pretty nerdy and pretty smart and pretty wise. Maybe you have some worldly experience. Maybe you're just a nice fucking person. You're a decent guy. Maybe you have decent fashion sense. Maybe you're really into anime and you could absolutely have some fun with a woman who's also into anime. Whatever it might be, write down 50 reasons. And if you struggle to get to 50, that's okay. Ask some friends and family, write down as many as you possibly can, and every week just add 1 or 2 things to that list until you get to 50. Even if it takes you a year to get your list to 50 things, beautiful. That's amazing. And what that's going to give you is a lot more confidence, self-assurance, and self-love when it comes to dating women, especially if you're going to date younger women, but any woman. You are going to feel more worthy if you do that, because a lot of you have this story that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, that it's too late, that you missed out, that you're too old, that you're too whatever, bad luck, I missed out, I'm not good enough. So turn that story around, rewrite the script, find the evidence with those 50 reasons why you're likable, that you are actually likable, you are actually worthy. You are a human being who is worthy of dignity, you are worthy of some relationships as long as you put in the work and actually put in some effort. You are worthy of these things. You just have been telling yourself a story that you're not, and that story is complete and utter bullshit. And you guys have seen the evidence of this. I have a playlist on this channel. If you go onto my YouTube channel, you're already on my YouTube channel, click on the playlist section, go to coaching client interviews, and just watch any of the videos of guys in their 30s or guys who are virgins in their 30s. I have coached so many men who lost their virginity in their 30s or late 20s or even 40s. Like I said, I'm about to jump on a call with someone later today who's in his 50s. I think it's like 57 or something. And these people have gone on to have relationships, to have threesomes, to have deep connections, to have wild, crazy sex. Age is not a barrier. There is no too late. The only time it's too late is when you stop trying. The only thing that stops most guys is shame. It is that guilt, it is that shame, it is that fear, and it's restrictive. But if you just stop giving into the shame, if you stop listening to it and say, you know what, I might be in my 30s, but fuck it, I'm still going to try. I might be in my 40s, but until I breathe my last breath, there is still some work that I could do. There is always something more I can do. Every problem has a solution, and I'm going to play to fucking win. I'm not going to sit here and just go, oh, it's too late for me, therefore I should quit. No. Would it have been nice if I started in my 20s? Maybe. Maybe not. Like I said, maybe it's better that you start in your 30s because you have a lot more motivation, because you feel like time's running out, so you'll work 10 times harder. And maybe you skipped the dumbass party phase of your 20s where you were hooking up with people and feeling shallow and unfulfilled. Maybe it's a beautiful thing that you're in your 30s. But shame doesn't have to be a barrier. The story that you tell yourself that you're not good enough is a very shameful story, or the point of the story is to make you feel ashamed. You are making yourself feel ashamed. Just stop that. Fucking stop. Slap you across the camera. Just stop. Stop shaming yourself. And actually just fucking try. I didn't even really start working on my sex and dating life until I was 28, and I thought it was way too late for me. Everybody else that I looked at was younger, they were partying, they had more muscle than me, they looked cooler, they were kicking ass. I felt like it was too late, like I'd missed out. What was the point? And I didn't really start getting laid until I was like 30, maybe 31. That's when I really started to hit my groove. I am now 38. 38. And I feel like I'm in my like prime years of sex, dating, relationships, intimacy, love, or connection, all of that stuff. It is never, ever too late for you. Again, as long as there is breath in your lungs, you are allowed to get up, go outside, and go say hi to some women. Or if you struggle with that, that's fine. Walk around and think about talking to some women. Get some friends, get a coach. You know, I'm right here. Like I said, half price on my coaching program right now. Get some mentors, whatever you got to do, and start working on this. Regret comes from wishing that the past was different, but the past wasn't different. The past is what it is. Stop living in the past and living in regret. Just accept, yeah, I chose not to work on my dating life, or I wanted to, but I was really scared. Or maybe I tried a little bit, but I didn't really know what I was doing and I didn't get results. Cool. I just didn't know any better. I was innocent, I was naive, I was dumb, whatever you want to say, but I just was doing the best I could and I didn't know any better. Now I do know better because I'm in my 20s or like my late 20s or my 30s or my 40s. Now I know what to do, and I've got enough content on here for free that will help you get laid or get a relationship or whatever you want. I have my coaching, like I said, where we will absolutely guarantee that you get your results. You know what to do now. You didn't know what to do in the past, and that's okay. What I am saying here is forgive the younger you. He did the best with what he had at the time. You don't need to punish him. You can love him, love your past self, forgive him, and move forward. You are not the enemy. And every time you take action now, you are healing that younger version of you. You are healing the version of you that's in pain, that has regret, that feels like he missed out. Do him a favor. He deserves it. You owe it to him. Improve, work on yourself, talk to some women, work on your goals. That younger you deserves to feel some fucking love. And it's up to you as the older, bigger brother to give it to him. So stop talking shit about the past. Set a dating goal. Like, I will go on 1 date a week, or if that's a struggle, I will go on 1 date a month, or I'll approach 1 woman this week, and then next week I'll try for 2. Just set some tiny little baby step. If you struggle to approach, just say, I will go outside every day this week for 10 minutes and just walk around thinking about talking to some women. I will literally just imagine what it would be like while I walk around. Just do something. Learn, evolve, grow. Write in your fucking journal. Like I said, come to the coaching and we will absolutely guarantee get you results in the next 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks if we want to be conservative. Fucking pay to win. But just do something to move forward starting right now. Take some action. The past is the past. Let it go. Use the present and the future to make some actual moves and get the things that you want. And so in summary, you didn't miss out on your 20s. You lived them the way that you lived them. You lived them the way that you needed to at the time. You were learning lessons that would prepare you for now. You were on your own unique journey. You don't have to compare to other people. I promise you have time. You have options. You have power. More than anything, you have the power to change, to take some action, to do something. Instead of sitting there just feeling regret. Feel that regret by all means, wonderful, and do something with it. Honor your past self. Go out there and make some moves. Go out there and take some damn action. Like I said, if you struggle with this stuff, I am right here. Right now, 50% off on my coaching, guys. I cannot make it any more affordable than that. And if you can't afford that, we have the Abundance Collective, which is our $200 a month coaching program. And if you can't afford that, use this channel. There's enough videos on here. There's 1,100 videos on here for free. And my blog has another 500 articles. My Spotify podcast has another 500 podcasts. My email newsletter list, I've sent 800 emails over the years. There is enough free shit here. And I'm only one person. There are plenty of other people trying to help you get laid or make money or be happier. There is enough shit out there to help you, but you got to take some action. Give yourself permission to suck and just do something. Like I said, the coaching is 50% off right now. I have payment plans. I am happy to jump on a coaching, or I guess it's a coaching call, a free call with you to talk through if it's a good fit for you, if you're ready, if you're right, if you're nervous, all of that. No sales techniques, no pressure. I'm just going to be regular Andy who'll talk to you and talk to you like a friend. I'm not going to talk to you like a fucking businessman. You are absolutely allowed to change your life. We are right here. And this coaching deal is only for the next, 29 days as of the time I record this. So if you want that, now is the frickin' time. I will leave a link down below to that. Guys, you are absolutely capable of making the most of your late 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or whatever, but you got to start now.